the station that's on your side. News 12, first at 5, continues.
Artificial intelligence blurring the lines of what is true and what is fake, how this technology is being weaponized, and how it could target you coming up next. But first, our weather team issuing a first alert for tomorrow. We'll send things over to First Alert meteorologist Anthony Carpino. Thanks, Anthony. We're tracking two different shootings this morning in Aiken County, one of them being deadly. The second shooting happening just before 11:30 this morning in North Augusta on Weston Street near North Augusta Middle School. But in less than 5 hours, two different shootings happened in one neighborhood. Around 4:40 a.m., a 52-year-old woman was shot on Hutchinson Drive and taken to the hospital, according to Aiken County Sheriff's Office. Later that morning, shots rang out right around the corner where 24-year-old Carnell Nealis III was gunned down. Now, when deputies got to the home, they found the victim in the doorway with the door still open. The only piece of information released so far about who may have done this is a white or gray-colored hatchback was seen leaving the area in a hurry. Right now, the sheriff's office is focusing on getting closure for a grieving family.
We are in the earliest stages of this investigation. Obviously, we're still searching for all the answers that we can in this situation. We encourage anybody in this community or anybody that's outside this community that has some information, just come forward with it.
And coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're talking with witnesses in the area who described the scene earlier this morning.
An Augusta man is suing the city of Augusta and its housing authority after the death of his 8-year-old daughter, Arbery Anthony. Arbery was killed on January 8, 2022 during a drive-by shooting at the Dogwood Terrace Apartments. In the lawsuit, Anthony's family says there was not adequate security measures in place. The lawsuit claims the complex failed to provide controlled access, active security, adequate lighting, and other measures that drastically reduce the threat of crime. The lawsuit alleges that the defendants knew of the high murder rate in the area, yet failed to take any steps to keep its tenants safe. And this ultimately led to young Arbery's death. Anthony is suing for the loss of Arbery's life, medical expenses, pain and suffering, funeral, and burial costs. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office still searching for leads tonight in a cold case murder. Deputies sending out the ask for help today. 19-year-old Angela Brooks and 17-year-old Nancy Cushman were found dead Thanksgiving Day 2010 near Twig Street and Laney Walker Boulevard. The two were known to drive a 1999 Cadillac Escalade, which you can see on your screen. If you know anything about either of these two women, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, Brooks and Cushman are just two of the hundreds of people whose cases still remain unsolved in Georgia. Recently, the GBI received more than $5 million towards establishing a cold case unit. Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll take a closer look at what this means for families waiting for their cold cases to be solved.
Today, Augusta Commission members taking a step towards new ways to stop crashes at the infamous Olive Road Bridge. The Augusta Bridge has seen many crashes, as we all know, the most recent just in the last few weeks. In committee, commissioners approved a proposal to better alert drivers. It still needs a vote from full commission, though. This could mean drivers using GPS would get a warning about the low clearance. But Commissioner Jordan Johnson says this wouldn't fix everything.
Many locals don't use GPS, and if they do, who's to say if they still won't just go through the bridge? So again, we have to get the folks who own the bridge involved instead of trying to solve the problem ourselves, because we don't have the tools at our disposal to do so.
And Augusta Traffic Engineering says they're working with CSX on a solution and have had talks about what to do, but no plans have been made yet. They said they do not want to hang something before the bridge as well.
Give students hands-on experience in the workforce before they ever get out of high school. That's the goal of the Students to Work Internship Program. It's for rising high school juniors and seniors in Richmond County through the Augusta Metro Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber hopes this program will be beneficial to students and to businesses. They pair students with local businesses each year to work as paid interns. They learn hands-on skills that you can't learn in any classroom. Business owner Lane Keene says taking on an intern is a way for his business to give back to the community.
What we've been doing is teaching them sign making, which involves a lot of hands-on work. So they're learning how to use tools in the shop environment and how to work safely.
I've never done anything like this in manufacturing, so I've learned literally something every day.
The program hopes to support the Richmond County School System's vision to create a competitive school system where all students graduate and are either college or career ready.
Artificial intelligence is blurring the lines of what's true and what's fake, while many companies have started to use it to add to their productivity. We're hearing of ways that technology is being weaponized as well.
It can be scary in some instances. Our State House reporter Abby Kasoris shares what can be done to protect your family.
Emory business professor Wrdw teaches a class on AI speech technology.
You can change on what kind of voice you want.
This is Atlanta News, first on AI in the future.
In just a few seconds, voice cloning technology can mimic the voice of a loved one.
As the computers, the processor starts evolving, it's in the hand of everyone.
The software is available for anyone to use, including the bad guys.
It still shakes me. It's still very present and very real. That's a fear that no mother who ever wants to experience.
Jennifer DeStefano received a phone call. On the other end, she heard the cries of her daughter asking for help, then a man demanding she pay a ransom.
The voice, it was her. It was 100% her.
She hung up when she heard from her daughter, who was clearly safe. Her 15-year-old daughter's voice was faked.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give before a subcommittee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
DeStefano doesn't want another mother to feel her pain, testifying before Congress.
No longer can we trust seeing is believing, or I heard it with my own ears, or even the sound of your own child's voice.
Georgia Senator John Ossoff is working across the aisle to study implications that AI could have on basic human rights. Garg says all these concerns prove the need for policy.
AI can learn to evolve. This is what people are more afraid of, on how do we make sure AI doesn't do it. And this is where we need to build policies.
Over the next several weeks, Congress will be hearing witness testimony on what types of policies could be put in place to safeguard families. In the meanwhile, Garg says to take your social media profiles and turn them to private. A public page could make you a target for an attack. In Norcross, I'm Abby Kasoris.
This just in. After an early morning fire at the Clearwater Post Office on Jefferson Davis Highway, Clearwater's mail services will be temporarily relocated. Retail and P.O. boxes for the Clearwater Post Office will now be at the Bath Post Office on Augusta Road in Bath. There is no word yet on how long this relocation will last. Nobody was hurt during this morning's fire, and we are still working to learn whether any mail was lost or damaged in that fire.
A heated debate in the House over gas stoves, while lawmakers on both sides are fired up. That's coming up next. Anthony.
And as we're heading out the door this evening, we're still on the drier side. Some scattered showers and storms for our southern counties this evening. Then more storms for everybody as we go through the day on Wednesday. We've issued a first alert for the entire CSRA. We'll have another check of that forecast when we come back.
Diamond
is never good for a wedding.
Hundreds of new Kias to choose from, like a 2023 Kia Rio for just $19,990. We want to see you in a Kia during the summer sales event at the all-new Stokes Hodges Kia on Jefferson Davis Highway in North Augusta and at StokesHodgesKia.com.
Rain is never good for a wedding. Until now. If it rains 1 inch or more on your wedding day, Floyd & Green Fine Jewelers will give you your rings for free. So pray for rain and watch News 12 and NBC 26 this weekend for the weather happening near you. Uneven side. We'll notice those temperatures a little bit warmer, near 90 both of those days, and back to the mid-80s with higher rain chances for next week.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives expected to pass 2 bills that Republicans say protect the consumer's ability to buy and install gas stoves.
Last month, New York became the first state to ban gas stoves in new construction, and the issue has ignited a political firestorm. Natalie Brand breaks it down.
Stoves. This administration has a war on gas stoves.
Heating up on the House floor, a debate over gas stoves ignited over GOP concerns that the federal government wants to restrict or even ban them.
It's an issue of consumer choice. It's an issue of affordability.
Washington State Republican Dan Newhouse points to bans at the local level, like the one recently enacted in New York, a victory for climate advocates and those worried about indoor air quality.
This is an incremental step in moving the country away from a source of energy that we desperately, vitally need.
Newhouse believes a new proposed efficiency standard by the Department of Energy could block the sale of many gas cooking appliances nationwide. The Department of Energy argues the proposals are intended to boost energy efficiency for new products and would not go into effect until 2027. The agency emphasizes it's not trying to do away with gas stoves.
Well, I don't think we should ban gas stoves, but we're not talking about banning gas stoves. It's not real.
Florida Democrat Jared Moskowitz thinks the issue is a smokescreen. He graduated from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, the scene of a 2018 shooting massacre.
We've not had one hearing on school safety, not one hearing on school safety, multiple hearings on how some boogeyman is going to come to your house and take your gas stove.
While one gas stove bill targets the Energy Department, the other is aimed at the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which also insists it does not intend on banning gas stoves. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The bills are not expected to move forward in the Democratic-controlled Senate, but the Biden administration says it does not support any attempt to ban the use of gas stoves.
What if you could take a refrigerator anywhere you want? Coming up, we'll take a look at a portable refrigerator that claims to do just that.
First Alert Radar. Do it right. Rely on Ramjet.
Father's Day, it's soon, and if you're looking for a gift that's sure not only to please Dad, but the rest of the family, here's a really cool idea, a portable refrigerator.
Really cool, a cooler idea.
I said that, yeah.
It's not just a refrigerator, but a freezer and an ice maker that you can take on the road. But how does it work? It's cooler. But our consumer tech reporter tried out the new portable appliance to see if it's worth the money.
What the Tech? Sponsored by WOW Internet.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A portable refrigerator, freezer, and an ice maker. I've never seen anything like it. The EcoFlow Glacier boasts some bold claims. We're going to check them out. On one side is a fridge for drinks and food. On the other side, a freezer for ice cream and other frozen foods. Each side is controlled by a digital thermostat you can set on the device or with an app. On this side is an ice maker. EcoFlow claims can make 18 ice cubes in about 12 minutes, even in the sun. But if you're going to be away from electrical outlets, there is an optional battery that'll keep the fridge and freezer running for up to 40 hours. It can also run off a car cigarette lighter, and for camping or getting off the grid completely, it'll plug into a solar panel to keep operating. Those are the claims. Let's see how well it works. I filled up the fridge side with soda cans and bottles at 23 degrees and placed ice cream in the freezer set to -4 degrees. Then I took it outside. I left it in the sun for 6 hours. And to make ice, I poured water into a tray, and in about 12 minutes, I lifted the ice mold to find 18 ice cubes. I checked on temperatures, found the cans at 23 degrees, the ice cream frozen to -4. All of that while running on the battery. Once the battery got down to about 6%, I plugged the Glacier into the EcoFlow solar charger. After 2 hours, it was charged to 76%. Like its portable generators, the EcoFlow Glacier works just as advertised, and I can see this being handy not just for camping, but for trips to the beach and tailgate parties. You could also keep it in storage for an emergency backup refrigerator if the power goes out. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
The first round of the 13th annual Vaughn Taylor Championship is in the books, and after a change in locations heading into this year's event, junior golfers from all over North America put on a show over at the Bartram Trail Golf Club in Evans. Now we have 4 local golfers competing this year, 1 from Augusta and 3 from Evans. The brother and sister duo, Sarah and Nathan Martin and Nicholas Flight, are all representing Evans. The lone Augusta native, Tyler Newsom, and at Tyler Newsom, and at 12 years old, he shot a 74. Even though Newsom shot 3 over on the day, he says he's excited about the opportunity he has to play in an event like this at such a young age.
I think I am a little bit better than the average 12-year-old. I like to think of myself that way. I think I'm the youngest player in the field, and I think I play pretty good for my age.
I love to have my mom and dad here. It's cool to watch them support me, and they help me with a lot of stuff.
Round 2 begins tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We'll hear from Vaughn Taylor on the decision to change courses and the impact that could have on this event for years to come.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Well, the rain and storm chances are going to go up as we go through tomorrow morning, and even the potential for strong to severe weather. We'll talk one more time about that first alert when we come back.
Olympus Granite
Incorporated, locally owned and serving the CSRA since 1986.
Wherever I go, I'm always keeping an eye on the power lines. In my home of Puerto Rico, Hurricane Maria showed us what can happen with a weak and outdated power grid. So I became an electrical engineer, and now I work for Georgia Power. We're investing in the latest secure technologies, and we're building the future of energy today. Our customers are counting on us for a modern and dependable power grid, and I'll be keeping an eye out to make sure they get it.
All right, tomorrow